that Ecclesia needs to continue, especially this one, the second season. And we as facilitators and people who have been involved could encourage others to continue in their homes, to show other people how beautiful it is. And that's the only way we're going to build up the small faith.
I had 3 sessions at my home. On a Tuesday night, I had the one ladies group who was studying through UNISA, and then I had my own group the Wednesday night, and then I have the young people right now at my house because they don't have proper facilities in their home.
It's going well, but we've had struggle with attracting the younger people, and we would really like, if there are other groups that would like to chat with us, that we can gain some more insight. It's not an easy
Started
task.
with 12 groups, and we were going quite well. And then when we started on marriage, we had our first session, and then some young people, young married couples came along and said, could we repeat that again? And we're going to bring our friends along so that, this is something good. So then we sat down, and the following week we had to do marriage again. So of course the young couples were there, and then they said, no, this is what the church is about. We're coming again. And it seems to be growing. So
the Ecclesia groups, they are going strong. The last Ecclesia thingy season was very nice. It was very powerful. It was, but for me personally, it was a very educational. I learned a lot, and spiritually I grew a lot. And I'm so grateful because I can take this insight and this information educationally. I'm 50 years old, but I'm still learning. And I can actually take this information to the next person and tell him of my own experience that I've learned from Ecclesia, even as old as I am. And I'm glad to be able to do that and do it on a continuous basis, to tell people that it is God, that is there for us. We just need to spend more time.
In Ecclesia, we have an incredible tool. And the beauty of it is that it's not linked to a liturgical season. So it's not an Advent or a Lent program. It's able to be used at any time. And so if there's a group of people who do season 2 but haven't done season 1, well, they can do season 1. And we found that experience in Durbanville. People who didn't do 1, who did 2, are now raring to go to do 1. And then people who've done 1, who haven't done 1 and haven't done 2, but friends say it was so fabulous, it was so good, it made a change in my life, and say, well, down the line, we'd like to do one of those seasons. Do it. Use it as a tool. It can be done at any time by anyone. I think equally, we can take any of the sessions of season 1 or season 2, and they can be used in a wide variety of ways. Could be used in RCIA, marriage and family life could be used in marriage preparation. They could be used in confirmation programs. If you're wanting to set up a youth, or the pastoral council is looking at the whole question of youth, to look at the one on youth, because it talks very much about our adult parish attitudes very often to young people. So there is such a wide variety of ways in which it can be used. You just pull out one session and can use it in all sorts of different ways. So don't say, oh, we've done season 2, let's pack it away on the shelf, let it collect dust. Encourage, and that's your role as coordinators, encourage as much of its use. Baptism preparation, that whole one on Christian initiation, most of the parents coming to have their babies baptized have little or no idea of why they're doing it. They're doing it because their parents think it would be a good idea if their grandchild got baptized. Why they're doing it, when you ask them, they've no idea. Oh, well, once the child's baptized, tick, it's done. And baptism is an entire lifetime in its unfolding. It'd be terribly useful to use it in a baptism preparation. And I like the idea that you use not just the DVD, but the discussion as well. Because a great deal of learning happens not just by getting information, either hearing it or seeing it or reading it, but by sharing the multiplicity of experiences of different people within a group dynamic. So what touches you may not touch you, but something else touches you, and you bring that, and you enrich the whole group by that. So use the questions and the sharing of the group, whatever the group is, RCI group, a marriage preparation group, young couples. I love that about young couples wanting to have a look at that. I thought that was absolutely amazing, because they're the ones you don't see. They get married, they're not really going to church much. They may go for a few weeks ahead of time so that the priest will marry them, and then you don't see them, and the next time you see them is when they've had a baby and want a baptism. If we could reach those married couples, wow! Because again, I don't think that many couples getting married have any real clue about what marriage is. And that's not the total picture that I've presented, but it's a very challenging one, and certainly gives some beginning for real thought and experience around what marriage is all about. So I want to encourage this to be a tool that hasn't been used. Well, season 2's done and dusted. We're delighted that it's over. Great, and now we're finished. Keep the material going. Keep encouraging people. Keep talking to people. Get people who've done Ecclesia to share the experience, just as you did tonight. That's a great encouragement if people hear from others other than the coordinator. Otherwise it's Barbara again, here we go, she's got so much energy, she's got 2 Duracell batteries in her, and oh God, not Barbara again, sort of story. Yeah. But just from people who are ordinary parishioners, and if they were to stand up and say, this is what Ecclesia has done for my life, I have grown so much in my faith, I really feel closer to the Lord, it's very powerful as a witness. And so to encourage that, so that you don't have to be always coordinated, talking about it, but getting other people to just share like you did the experience tonight. I found that very moving and very powerful. And if we could kind of encourage kind of ordinary people just on the ground who've done it to share how it's touched their lives. We had a confirmation in October. And one of the things that we did is we've just started Life Teen, so the group had been doing Life Teen as well as Youth Alpha in preparation for confirmation. And some of the kids stood up at the end of the confirmation and shared what the whole experience had meant to them. And it was absolutely wow. The Archbishop was so moved. And via Rodney, Deacon Rodney, one of the best confirmations he's ever been to. And it was just sharing, those kids sharing their experience. They stood up with confidence and love and just shared how special what they had received during that year and what it had meant to them, how it had brought them to real commitment in confirmation. So get people to share their stories, to share their experiences with parishioners. It inspires, it really does. And people who kind of sitting there thinking, well, should I do Ecclesia? Is it for me? Isn't it for me? May just be moved to do it. And I think that I've tried very hard in this second season around marriage and family, not to direct it just at married couples, but also focus it for couples who've been married, have lost a spouse, who are elderly now, who don't necessarily have families, but to try and get everybody to see that it's what the whole church is all about. Marriage is what the church is. There's biblical images of marriage, family, the family of God that is the church. And so again, to see it in its broader context. Keep it going. keep it going. The next season on the Eucharist has been a lot more difficult to produce, because as soon as I start writing, it kind of goes several notches higher on the theological level, and it's trying to kind of set it at a balanced level. That's what Joan's busy pushing me at, to kind of get it at a balanced level that's not too theological, but that it's not so untheological as for people not to understand. And we chose Eucharist, although it was one of the topics in the original season 3. We've chosen it for a whole season because of the Year of Faith, and because Eucharist is so central to our Catholic identity. It's who we are, it's what we're about, it's where we grow, and how we mature in our faith. So I think it's going to be very exciting.